Yo, what's going on, world? It's your boy Najee from Cigar Talk, and today I got a very special guest, man. Seated to my left, hey, this the welterweight champion of the world, Mr. Big Fish himself. I got my man, Errol Spence Jr. What's up, brother?
What up?
Man, listen, man, I told you before off camera, I'm really excited you back, man. You've been one of my favorite fighters. How does it feel, like, just knowing, like, you know, and you ain't coming back to no bullshit fight either, right? Like, you coming back to something real. Like, how does it feel knowing, like, you know, just to get back in the ring?
Oh, man, it feels good, especially when you almost got something taken away from you. So, man, it's just a blessed opportunity for me. I'm back, you know. I'm not going to take it for granted.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the fans what they want, man. A great show and a great performance, one-sided performance. And I'm put on a great show like I usually do.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, we got April 16th, big fight against your dentist, Ugas. This ain't no easy one, like I said, man. This guy, it's a real fight. I mean, when you play out the fight in your head, like, what does that look like to you? Like, when you kind of just rethinking it?
It's different scenarios. I know Ugas, he can go, man. He can really fight.
Yeah.
He come from that school, that Cuban boxing, where, you know, as a kid, you know, that's what they taught all the way through.
Facts.
To learn how to fight. So I know he gonna come. He gonna try to come take my belts. I know he's hungry. Yeah. He wants that American dream, but you know, he gonna fall short fighting me. I think, you know, the fight might be entertaining. It might be chess match. You know, first couple rounds, but I think, you know, in the middle of the fight, I think we really just gonna lock in and, you know, go to war and have a toe-to-toe fight where, you know, I think I'm more powerful. I'm the faster fighter, I'm the slicker fighter, quicker fighter. Yeah. So I think, you know, I'm better to break him down, and hopefully in the later rounds I can stop him. All
right. Do you is that something that, do you go into it with the game plan, like, you know, this fight I'm a boxer, this fight I'm a bang? Because we seen different styles from you, right? Like Mikey, I was thinking you was gonna come in there just, but you was kind of boxing in that fight, right? And then there's like other fights, I guess, like maybe Porter, where you know, you more inside doing that. Do you kind of have it already what you gonna do, or is just strictly determined by like what's happening?
Most time it's kind of strictly determined by what's going on, but I usually have in my head what I want to do already, like way before the fight. I be like, yeah. Like with Sean Porter, I already knew, like, even before training camp and everything, like, yeah, we gonna fight. Yeah. And with Mikey Garcia, every day coming into halfway through, and people was like, you know, saying that Mikey can outbox me, or he, you know, he's slicker than me, or he's smarter than me. And it was guys, you know, that I looked up to, like Sugar Leonard said, you know, Mikey Garcia might win, and, you know, guys like George Foreman. So I was like, all right, bet. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a boxer then, since they think he's slicker than me, he's smarter than me, he more skillful than me. Right. And I'm gonna show him a different avenue to my game.
Nah, that's what's up, man. We definitely got a chance to see all the dimensions. When we think about Ugas, matter of fact, I seen his trainer did an interview where he was saying, they asked him, like, you know, how you gonna beat Spencer? He said, we're gonna use his strength as a weakness, right? So I guess they were saying your aggression, and obviously Ugas is a counterpuncher, right? Yeah. So like, when you hear shit like that, like when you hearing that part of the game, what does that make you feel?
Like I really ain't been listening to his coach or anything like that, anybody, but you know, everybody got a game plan. Everybody, he gonna have a certain game plan, you know, use my strength, his weaknesses, you know. And like I tell everybody, you know, it sounds good. You know? It sounds good to get in there. Yeah, like he can say what Ugas gonna do, but you know, Ugas gotta follow their game plan, and you know, it might go well for, you know, first couple seconds that, you know, he do it, but I feel like, you know, once I figure out what he's doing and I can void it out, and I make people strengths their weaknesses too. So, you know, if he want to counter punch, or, you know, he want to come forward or back me up, you know, I can do it all. So it don't matter what he do, you know, I'm like a chameleon, you know. Yeah. I'm like a Lamborghini, you know, I can shift gears too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So whatever he do, you know, I got a game plan for him.
I love that. Tell me about this training camp, man, because like I said, you know, this is your first big one in a while. Obviously, you're coming off the eye surgery, had the detached retina. When you kind of coming back, like, off of that, how was it like sparring and trying to come back from an injury like that? Does it make you tentative? Is it like, damn, I got to come in slowly? Like, what was your mind frame just like, kind of on the comeback part of it?
Well, I previously ever talked to my doctor, and basically she was like, it's way strong. And she was like, you know,
stronger than before?
Don't get hit in the eye, but is way stronger than before because they put like 2 straps on my eyes so to keep it in place. So it's like, you know, it's impenetrable right now. That's what they say. So, you know, so she was like, it's way stronger than it was before. You just don't get hit in it. You know, but you know, the first sparring match, you know, it was more, you know, fill out process, you know, see what's going on. You know, I got hit in my eye a couple of times, you know, nothing happened. Yeah. And then now, you know, I'm just sparring normal now. Like, you know, it's all out sparring. You know, I've been hitting my eye, you know, a few times. So, you know, it's safe to say that, you know, it's going to hold up.
Do you still think about that? Is it something, because I know, like, in other sports and stuff, like when you get an injury, like I see that in basketball, right? Like players that, you know, they might injure their ankle or their knee. The next time they don't be jumping the same because they be kind of scared to do it the same way. Is that something, do you feel that tentativeness, like kind of because of what happened, that you feel like you got to move differently?
Nah, not at all, not at all. You know, you become more, you know, protective, like, of my other eye. You know, I make sure, you know, I'm not getting hit in or, you know, I don't get hit in as much in the other eye, but, you know, nah, man, I'm locked in. I'm 100% ready to go. You know, I'm not tentative at all. You know, I'm throwing the same shots, you know, same aggression, same passion, same everything. So, you know, I feel like it didn't hurt me at all. Yeah.
So talk about this training camp. I mean, I think I seen you did an interview. You said, you know, you making the weight like a lot better than you was in the past, like 47. Because you're a big dude, you know what I'm saying? Coming down to 47. What you think made it easier this time, just as far as like, you know, the weight and where you at? What made it easier?
Just being, cause my nutritionist come in, he come in Sunday, but me, I just being more conscious of what I eat, you know, just drinking more water, you know, not wearing a sauna suit, you know, I was wearing a sauna suit, and basically what I was doing was I was just going against my body and, you know, trying to kill the weight. And trying to just drain myself of water and things like that, you know, my nutrients and vitamins and minerals. You know, so now, you know, I'm doing it more, you know, I'm doing it before time and I'm in the weight just coming off instead of me just, you know, killing myself to make weight.
Nah, for sure. When you are preparing for fights like this, do you watch a lot of film? Like, do you like study them, like studying film and shit like that?
I might watch some film a little bit, just a little bit, because I feel like I already seen, like the guys on fight right now, like I've been watching them fight. Like I'm a fan of boxing, so I done been watching Ugas fight. You know, Sean Porter and the rest of the guys. I've been seeing, you know, when Sean fought Sean Porter, I've been seeing Sean Porter fight. I've seen him fight Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, all them different. Sometimes I watch their fights while I'm running on the treadmill, things like that, and that was before I ever fought him. So I'm already, you know, familiar with his style and with what he does in the ring. But, you know, sometimes I watch like a minute, 2 minutes of it. But there's no need for me to watch the whole fight, because I already know, you know, basically, you know, what they do.
What he's bringing. Okay. Man, I just want to get into your history a little bit, man. Growing up, Texas. You said, matter of fact, your pops told me your pops was here. He said you was born in Long Island, moved to Texas when you was 2. Tell me about just growing up in Texas, man. Like, what was that like? Like, your part of Texas?
Man, it's big. Like, Texas is huge on sports. Like, sports is basically everything. Sports is religion.
For sure.
You know, Texas, you know, people, Sundays, people go to, you know, football games and stuff like that, you know, first, and then go to church. You know, so, you know, I was big on, I played soccer, football, basketball, baseball.
Everything.
You know, I was playing, my daddy got me in everything.
What you was nice in, though? What you feel like, besides boxing,
I was nice in everything.
Like, come on, Errol, come on, man.
On everything, I was nice in everything. Like, there's nothing I couldn't do. Like, I was nice in everything. Like, I could have done anything, but I was playing football, but I stopped playing football because I was getting in trouble and my grades was messed up. So you gotta play your grades messed up. Especially when their progress report come out. So my dad basically got me into boxing because he felt like, you know, I was getting in a lot of trouble, and like the kids around the neighborhood used to always walk around. This kid used to always walk around with boxing gloves.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. He wasn't even in a boxer. I guess his cousin taught him how to box. So he wanted to get in the gloves with everybody. So
he'd be like, "What's up? Give me the gloves. Let's do it."
And my dad had seen, you know, I was alright in the gloves. And you know, it was about time, you know, kids, you know, fighting a lot and stuff like that. and it was last day of school, summertime, and my dad didn't want me, just hanging around a lot of out of time. You ain't got nothing to do.
Sure.
That's how you get
messed up. Yeah, for
that's
sure.
how you get in trouble, hanging out with friends. You out bored.
Yeah.
So he got me into boxing. A lot of my friends followed me to the gym and wanted to come to the gym. It was like 5 of us, in the boxing gym, and a lot of them had dropped out because it was like 100-something degrees.
Right there,
the coach had
sweating.
us run there, had us in the gym training, working hard. We out of shape, so we just dead tired. And a lot of them started coming to the gym, and I was like, told my dad, like, man, I want to stop boxing because like none of my friends were going, nobody was going. It was just me.
Right.
And I ain't really see, the big picture of it. And I was like, I want to stop. My dad was like, nah. He was like, you stop now, you'll stop. You'll quit at anything. So you're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
And he made me stick with it to the point where like it was like every day I was doing it.
Yeah.
Watching on YouTube, everything like that. Where he ain't had to tell me we going to the gym. Or,
You was just getting up going.
Yeah, I was just getting up and going, or I was running on my own. I was doing stuff on my own. Like, he ain't never had to tell me to go run or go work out, or we gonna go work out. Like, it was come to a point where it was like using the bathroom.
Right.
Like, it was something I had to do, so.
At what point was it that you felt like, because that happens a lot, right? Like, as a kid especially, or a teen, you know what I'm saying? You're exploring different things, and certain shit, like, you might like it, but you don't love it. What point did it click for you where you was just like, all right, I'm dedicated to this. Like, this is my thing.
Man, it probably didn't get like that till probably like 2.5, 3 years after. Till I really started watching like stuff on YouTube and watching like, Roy Jones and Ray Leonard and them guys going to the Olympics and all the other different stuff. And, because at first you got this notion that you're gonna be undefeated in the amateur. Like I'll be undefeated.
Right.
Like I ain't never losing.
Nobody touched me.
Yeah, in the amateurs, like what you lose in the amateurs. But I thought I was gonna be undefeated, and suffered a couple of losses, but that never deterred me. It just made me want to work harder and focus harder, and and then after like 2-3 years had passed, I fell in love with it, and I wanted to go to the Olympics. So I felt like I couldn't do nothing as a professional unless I went to the Olympics, because all the greats went to the Olympics, like Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Ali. Everybody went to George Foreman. Everybody went to the Olympics. So I gotta go to the Olympics. I'm not turning pro. I go to the Olympics.
Okay.
Yeah. So man, that was just the full dedicated to go to the Olympics. Like I had to go to the Olympics.
Damn, that's what's up. I mean, obviously, you did pretty well in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Did pretty well. Representing America. When I met your pops, he got an accent like Jamaica. He from the yard.
Yeah.
Did you grow up like Caribbean? Because like my grandparents, my grandfather's from Barbados.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he came to New York and he lived in Harlem. Maybe he came when he was 10. So I grew up like American. I didn't really. That's in my blood, but I didn't really grow up like that. Did you grow up like Caribbean or more like American?
I mean, we grew up American, but like I knew all the food.
Yeah.
I knew all the food. My dad cooked
Jerk
all the
chicken,
food.
all that.
Yeah, jerk, all that, oxtails, whatever. Rice and peas, all that, cabbage. Like I grew up eating all the food, so I always knew the culture.
Yeah.
And like my uncle and my dad, they always played, Jamaican music and stuff like that. So I always knew of the culture and things like that, and stuff that went on and that Jamaicans been through and stuff like that. Like my dad's always, preached to me, so I always knew, I was woke on that.
Yeah. Tell me about your moms, man. Like, cause I know, Caribbean parents be strict a lot of times. I know you say your grades wasn't as good and shit like that coming up. You know what I mean? When you first started boxing, how was that for her? Like, was she like supportive of it at the time, or like what was that like?
Well, my mom was born in New York. She not Caribbean.
Oh, she's from New York.
Yeah, she's from New York. Yeah, but she used to be strict. She was strict on me. At first, she was strict on me a lot. Like, she used to get on me. But I think at some point, she just realized.
Is it what it is? It is what it is?
She realized, like, she'd tell me, like, stay on and this and that. But I think she realized at some point that, nothing was going to help.
Yeah, right. So your amateur career, I mean, obviously you had an extensive amateur career, also the Olympics. I think you started kind of late, right? Like boxing,
15.
like 15. That's kind of late for a lot of these guys starting real young. What do you take from that part of your life, right? Like the amateur portion of your life. Like, what do you feel like you learned about boxing and just about the game from that standpoint?
Now, I feel like the amateurs helped me out for the professional level. You know, I feel like that was my college. You know, my high school. You know, playing football, basketball. You know, I feel like even like when I went and fought Kell Brook overseas.
Yeah.
I feel like that me fighting the amateurs, fighting in international tournaments, and going to different places and fighting those guys helped me to fight Kell Brook because basically like muscle memory.
Right.
You know, fighting Kell Brook, like it's not
style.
foreign territory because I've been here before.
Right.
The style, and I'm used to like the fans with the blowhorns.
Oh
and,
yeah, it's crazy in the UK.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like in the UK, I done fought in the UK so many times and fought South America so many times where they had the blowhorns and the crowd, going against you. And, you just got your coach and your teammates,
Right.
to back you up. So I was used to that. So it wasn't, I was like, yeah, I go overseas. Like, that ain't nothing to me. So, and just the different styles you see, different fighters you fight and things like that. So,
Right.
I feel like the amateur system helped me out a lot. It just gave me experience, to become a professional.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I think, like I said, I've been following your career for a little minute. The time I feel like when your name really started getting up was off that sparring session with Floyd. That's when everybody really was talking like, obviously, I know the rule. We don't really talk about sparring, but that session in particular, what did you take from that? Like, just, as far as your confidence and just like whatever happened in the ring, what did you take from that session, kind of moving forward?
The experience
Yeah,
aspect.
just the experience of fighting
me,
Floyd.
I ain't never pictured. I never even thought about me sparring Floyd and things like that. So when I got the call, I was like, yeah, I do it.
Was you nervous though? Like,
Nah, I wasn't even nervous because I didn't get nervous because people was like, when I got in the ring, people was like beating on
the doghouse?
they were tapping on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then once you do that, they'll like trigger something like my competitiveness in me. It's like, okay, they think it's so sweet.
Right.
Like even when I went with fought Kell Brook, like people was like throwing stuff at me, saying different stuff and, calling me all type of names. So it was like, that competitiveness came. It was like, all right, like,
right.
y'all think something sweet, like y'all going,
Oh, so you was trying to prove a point after that, like.
Yeah, it's like, okay, now it's time to prove a point. So when they would start hitting on the mats and doing all that, it was like, oh, y'all think this shit sweet. Like y'all just beating on the thing and on the ring mat and all this and yelling and screaming. I'm like, oh, okay, I got something for y'all.
Right.
So it was just that whole experience and. I was like 2-3-0, so as a pro, so I'm just watching them hit the bag, the mids, watching what a top level professional do, at a professional level, because I don't have any pros come from my gym or even in Dallas at the time that I was professional or amateur, so. Just watch him, see how he move and see, how he train.
Yeah.
That was big. I was like a sponge. I was soaking everything up.
That's what's up. I mean, you don't got to comment, confirm, or deny, but we seen Floyd with the black eye around that time. We seen that, We seen that. But that actual sparring session and like, did you feel like as far as the skill level, because they say skills pay the bills.
Yeah.
Like when you in there and you witnessing the skills firsthand and like kind of seeing that, did you feel like it was a difference just in the skill level of what he's displaying versus what you feel like you got? Did you feel like it was a difference, or you felt like, I'm on this level, I could compete on this level?
Oh, I definitely, I feel like, I can compete at this level because we was going, tick for tack.
Yeah.
And, I feel like, the skill level was there. He displayed at a different level. And I feel like, mentally, nobody better than Floyd, mentally. I feel like, he never get rattled, and I feel like that's why he's so great, because he don't get rattled even in any situation, he come out on top of it. So, but, the skill level, I feel like, it was right there.
Right. Obviously, like, anybody who's watching this, a lot of people watching this know you fought a lot of world champions, a lot of big names. Who would you say, what would you say was your hardest fight? Like, if you had to think about it, like the one that challenged, because I don't think you was never like close to losing yet, you know what I'm saying? But if you had to say the one that you felt like pushed you the most out of everybody.
I would say Kell Brook, because man, he was strong.
Yeah, like, you was feeling him? He caught a couple straight right hands, I think.
I didn't feel it in the fight, but like, he kept pressing on me, like doing like this and my neck and stuff. Like my neck was hurt probably for like 3 weeks. Like,
Damn.
it was sore. Cause
Oh, you mean with the left hand before you threw the right?
Like he'll press down and he'll move my neck like this. And
right.
like physically, like he's super strong. You look at him like he's solid. Like,
yeah.
He musculars, I don't know what.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like he was Kell Brook because even like just blocking out, you know, having 30,000 fans and being overseas for your first, you know, world title fight and things like that, and just everybody just saying different things, and people think in America you're gonna lose and you're not ready for it yet, and you ain't got enough experience yet, and just everybody saying different stuff. And to go over there, I feel like, you know, mentally it was challenging and physically it was challenging. Yeah. You know, just to go over there and beat him.
Yeah, for sure. What's it like you said, you know, you fighting in front of 30,000 people in the UK side, but you doing the Dallas fucking stadium. That joint is, what is it, 100,000? I don't know how many people in that joint. What is that like though, right? Like you in a fight and there's 100,000 people screaming, some people for you, some people against you. What does that feel like just in the moment while you going through it?
It'll give you the energy.
Like in a good way, like
in a good way. Like, you know, if you down or like you got the person hurt and you know you hear the crowd just cheering, or you land a good shot, you hear the crowd just going crazy. You know, you get a different type of level of energy. It's kind of like, I don't know if you into Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, oh, like Super Saiyan power.
It's like when Goku doing that spirit bomb.
And
he getting the energy from everybody on Earth.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just getting that different type of getting that energy from everybody. You know, so, you know, I like fighting at home. A lot of people feel like it's pressure. Yeah. And because a lot of people, you know, it's a lot of pressure. They feel like, I guess, to perform, you know, it's at a high level, you know, especially in front of everybody. And a lot of people get nervous and scared, but, you know, I embrace it and I enjoy it because, you know, I'm fighting in front of my family, my friends, you know, people that I see, you know, on a regular basis, or people that don't have the opportunity to travel, you know what I'm saying, because they got to work or they got kids, or you know, they just can't afford it, but, you know, they can come to my fight. So, you know, that's just a dope experience just to have, you know, your hometown, you know, your hometown going for you and rooting for you and, you know, spending out their money and they, you know, Sunday's best just to come to your fight. Right. You know, that's huge for me.
Absolutely. I love that. Obviously, you know, you getting this question all the time because everybody want to see it. You were Terrence Crawford, right? Like, that's the showdown that everybody want to see. Obviously, you collecting the belts. You know, we don't want to get too far because, like I said, Ugas is a tough fight. So we don't want to look too far ahead. But with you collecting all the belts, do you feel like that fight is inevitable? Like that's something that's gonna happen, or you kind of like it just is what it is?
You know, my mentality is always what it is with me. But you know, I feel like people just gotta, you know, they just gotta look at stuff. They gotta look at the signs and, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, my motto, strap season.
Strap season,
I'm coming after the third belt, so I mean.
You know what's next.
I really don't have to say too much.
Nah, for sure. I mean, because, you know, and I think, like, I love it. I love the build-up personally, right? Because it make it, when it happens, it's more of like a moment. Like,
it'll be way, way bigger, you know.
100%. But do you feel like you getting the bad end of the stick with people saying you scared or you ducking or whatever? Like, I see a lot of different things, you know, people calling shit out in the media. Do you feel like you getting the negative end of the whole spectrum just based on how it went?
A little bit by some people, but you know, it's two coin. You know, it's two sides to the coin. You know what I'm saying? He get negative too. You know, just, you know, I feel like fans just they bash him, they bash me. You know, they just, you know, go crazy on both of us. But you know, I feel like everything's gonna play itself out. You know, some people, you know, don't want to wait. They're impatient, things like that. But and I feel like at this level, especially at the high level, you know, it's the business side to it and things like that, and that's what a lot of people don't take into account. They just don't care.
They ain't think about the business side.
They just want to fight, you know. Niggas just fight, just shut up.
Right. So when you looking at it like that, like, you know, thinking about the business side of things, like we saw the Floyd Mayweather was that example, right? Like the world been wanting that for years, and it just had to line up. And I guess what took it for it to happen was niggas had to see each other live at the game. Like, all right, look, what's up? Let's get to it. It's a lot of money, whatever. Do you feel like it's ever a situation like that where y'all just got to see each other and just like, dude, what we doing? Like, what's up?
Nah, it ain't no situation like that. I feel like, you know, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You know, it's definitely gonna happen. you know, he with a group of people that, you know, that my manager knows. So, you know, I feel like, you know, it's definitely gonna get talked about and see if it can happen.
For sure. Excluding that, if you thought about moving up to 54?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah.
Cause I know like weight wise, number one, right, is probably
yeah.
more comfortable, but then two, like just, you know, like we saying, if things don't work out from a business standpoint, going up to 54, is that something you see for yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. I feel like, you know, the only fight for me, you know, after this is, you know, the proper fight.
Yeah.
And if you know, even if it does happen or don't, whatever, you know, I'm still moving up. So, but, you know, definitely, you know, probably gonna have 2-3 more fights at 147 and move up.
Do you think on the business side, because that's another thing they always saying, who gonna get the A side and the B? I feel like Floyd started that, but he's the first person I hear saying that out loud, like the A side and shit like that. When you base it, because obviously, like, you know, you're doing big stadiums and shit like that, the resume, do you feel like your resume makes you that over Crawford, like resume-wise? Or you feel like it's equal?
Nah, I don't feel like it's equal at all, you know. Like I said, when it comes to the business side, they look into everything, you know. They look at, you know, what you doing, you know, tickets, you know, they look at everything, you know, and tally it all up. So, you know, I feel like, you know, I am the A side in the situation, but you know, like I said, you know, I'm willing to let some stuff go just to make the fight happen.
Love that. At 54, obviously, one of the guys, Charlo, man, that's your homie, right? That's your man?
Yeah, my guy.
Would you consider that, like that fight?
Yeah, but it gotta make sense for both of us on the business side.
Yeah, for sure.
Like at the end of the day, you know, if it's a career payday for him and a career payday for me, it makes us, you know, a huge amount of money, especially, you know, you have to, let's say, you know, I think, you know, he gonna beat with Casano become undisputed, and then I become undisputed, and then we fight each other. And I think, you know, especially in Texas, it'll make, you know,
big,
a whole bunch of money, a lot of money, you know what I'm saying, for our family. So, you know, only for that aspect, but I wouldn't just, you know, fight him for no reason. Cause I feel like, you know, that's my guy, but you know, I feel like if somebody your guy, you know, y'all gonna make some money together. Make some money together.
I was gonna ask you that though. Is it weird, like fighting your friend? Like this the homie, like, you know what I'm saying? We cool after this, but is it more like, you know, let's get this bread together, or like what that look like in your head?
I mean, for me, it's let's get this bread together, but I don't know how other people think.
Right. I feel that. I love that. Obviously, you had the, you know, big moment in your career. Like you said, you started off feeling like this is a extra opportunity, second, third opportunity that you had. You know, the car crash, it's a major life-changing event, right? Like, do you remember it? Like, do you remember that shit at all?
Nah, I don't remember that. I don't remember the car accident. I only remember like 3 weeks after the car accident. Like I was at the hospital and I don't even
remember that. Yeah.
What
was the first thing you remember? Like I guess post after they told you everything that happened. What's the first thing you kind of remember like from there?
Probably. I don't know. I just snapped out of it and I was like, I know I was going to bed early. I was going to bed like probably like 8 p.m. You know, 7 p.m. going to bed super early, like 7 p.m. I was tired all the time, sleeping all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't remember what I remember.
Right.
Yeah, probably was eating or something like that.
What was the recovery process from that? Like, cause I was looking at the video, that shit looked crazy, and then I see your face, it was like, damn, this just looks crazy.
Yeah.
The fact that you even made it out of that is a testament to how hard you gotta go to really like, you know what I'm saying, get past that. Tell me about that part, like just, you know, you getting your mind back, getting the stuff back. Tell me about the recovery part.
It was basically like a physical and mentally, you know, process where, you know, I was doing a lot of walking, you know, everything was hurting. I had to go to Cleveland Clinic, which is like, you know, one of the leading, you know, hospitals in the world where a lot of people go to, a lot of rich people go to.
Yeah.
And
slight flex.
Nah, I don't want to say that. They got different money for me. I'm talking about wealthy white people, whatever.
Right.
But I was just going out there, and they, you know, doing different scans on me, and and doing different drills and, you know, memory lessons. Memory tests and stuff like that, and trying to make sure, you know, I was, you know, 100%, or I will get back to 100%. But me my rehab was I was still going to the boxing gym. I was still working with Derek. We was working like real light, and, you know, not doing anything heavy, just hitting the bag or touching the miss a little bit. You know, even though, you know, my shoulders and everything was hurting.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted me to see a psychiatrist, but I seen a psychiatrist, and then I was there the first day, and then I didn't go back because I felt like I feel like the psychiatrist. It just wasn't for me. I feel like whatever I had to get through,
right.
I get.
Was
through
it just for the mental part of that, the psychiatrist part? Like, cause I guess that's a traumatic event, right?
Yeah,
like that's a trauma. So they was like they wanted to talk about the mental part of that.
Yeah, cause even like when I drive, it don't happen anymore. But for a long time, like I always pictured myself like either somebody like running into me or somebody hitting me, or I'm getting in a car crash, or even on a red light. Like I just always, you know,
PTSD a little bit.
Yeah, it was like like imagine like somebody hitting me, or I'm getting in a car crash, or some crazy happening while I'm in the car.
Right.
You know, having for a while, but I just, you know, kind of just ignored it or whatever. But, you know, it was just, you know, a big time it was big coming back because, you know, just having my family and my, you know, my friends, and just seeing my kids, you know, my girlfriend, my mom, my dad, you know, everybody around me. And I was just like, man, I gotta come back for them, and I just can't quit, especially, you know, if I can come back, you know, why not, you know, try to come back, you know, and that's why I didn't, you know, take a tune-up fight, because I felt like somebody a tune-up not gonna beat me. I'm like, that's not gonna show me, you know, where I'm at 100%. You know, I felt like somebody like Danny Garcia, you know, showed me, you know, if I'm not 100%, if I lose Danny Garcia, he just wiped me.
That's gonna show you where it's at,
He just wiped me out.
Yeah.
I just retired, you know what I'm saying, this and that. So, you know, it was just a big process where, you know, it was just, you know, finding myself, you know, and just, you know, I had a lot of, you know, scars, and, you know, my teeth was messed up, you know, I had teeth knocked out and stuff like that, where, you know, I had to get over and just, you know, mentally overcome.
Sure.
So it was just a big process within myself mentally, you know, just to get over that, you know, not even physically, because physically, you know, I was coming back, you know, I was getting stronger day by day, but it's just the mental aspect where, you know, where I needed to, you know, to help myself and, you know, be around my kids and be around, you know, people that, you know, I care for, you know, to help me get back to that moment where, you know, where I was, you know, before the crash. Yeah,
for sure. In the Danny fight, did you feel the effects of it? Like, did you feel differently in that fight?
I feel like it was, I felt a little effects, you know, physically, you know, some stuff still, you know, hurting a little bit and stuff like that, but, you know, I feel like the Danny fight was perfect for me and good for me just to see where I was at and things like that. And I felt like I didn't get hit too much in that fight, or, you know, I didn't do anything reckless and stuff like that. So I feel like for him to be a great fighter, it was still a good, you know, test to see where I was at.
Absolutely. I know you said after the crash, you blew up to about 190 pounds.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that just because you wasn't working out and you know, you eating that jerk chicken, y'all eating rice and peas?
Yeah, that, you know, that too. Like, you know, now I think I was, you know, I was kind of probably depressed a little bit because I felt like, you know, I probably never gonna fight again, and, you know, doctors saying this, saying that, saying different things and stuff.
Sure.
And you know, I just, you know, blown up, just, you know, eating, just doing whatever, you know, got to 190, and then I had to drop that weight too.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So yeah, that was a lot of weight, especially doing it on my own, you know, not having, you know, nutritionist or anything like that, because I'm always type of guy I like to do stuff on my own, you know. That's why I didn't even go to physical therapy after my car crash.
Word, that ass?
I ain't go to no physical therapy.
Damn, wow.
I was doing, you know, basically everything on my own, you know, get through it with myself. You know, I'm kind of, you know, old school. I like just get through it by myself, you know. So
Well, what kind of advice? Because I think that's an important thing. Like, a lot of people watching this, you know, probably might struggle with depression or different shit that they're going through that's like, you know, be hard for them mentally. What advice can you give somebody who feel like, you know, they struggling with shit like that? How do you get over it? How did you, you know, get over it?
You know, at first, you know, don't ignore it. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, you know, they deny it. You know, all the time. Deny it to themselves. Like you ain't gotta tell everybody, but don't deny it to yourself. You know, just having my kids around me. You know, my girl, my mom, my dad, family around me and stuff like that. And I feel like, you know, that gave me a lot of strength too. Yeah. To keep going and to fight through it. 'Cause it was a lot of days like I just wanted to quit. Like, man, I'm big. I keep skipping on the scale. Like, I'm
seeing the numbers.
Yeah, seeing the numbers, man. It's hot outside. My shoulders hurting. All different. My hips hurting and stuff, and you know, there's been a lot of times like I just wanted. I'm like, man, this is over. You know, I can't do it, whatever. But you know, just seeing my kids and, you know, my family just give you a different type of strength. Love that. You know, you like, man, like, nah, I gotta do this for them, or I can't quit. Cause if I quit, you know, and I can come back, you know, what they're saying about them, you know, they can quit at anything. But if I'm doing this and they see my story, they're gonna be like, yeah, Dad ain't gonna let me quit nothing. Cause, you know, hopefully they won't have to go through anything that, you know, that I went through, you know, for sure. Especially in this boxing game. So, you know, it was, you know, I tell people all the time, you know, some people need to, you know, seek help or, you know, talk to people. You know, when I did talk to somebody, I mean, it is kind of relieving, you know, to, you know, tell people, you know, how you feeling, they're not judging you and stuff like that. It's a huge, you know, weight off your shoulders and stuff like that. But, you know, I just tell people just, you know, get help if you want to see somebody, talk to somebody, you know. And you feel like you can do it yourself, you know what I'm saying? Use your family, your kids, if you got kids, or use, you know, your mom and dad, you know, as inspiration to keep going and, you know, and don't give up, you know what I'm saying?
Love that. All right, I mean, I got two more questions. We're going to get ready to wrap it up. I think this one is something I guess I want to know from, I used to play ball in college, throughout high school, college and stuff like that. And I know, like, today, I think it's athletes, like when we look at Floyd, right, like his career, when you looked at it, he ain't never drink at all, right? It was like, I seen Floyd in the club, order 30 bottles and he just drinking water. Like I see like, yo, this guy. And I think boxing, they look at it differently. Like they look at it more like, yo, you know, these things, like if you drinking, I think NBA, you know, you can have a couple drinks and play and it's cool. But boxing, they make it look different. Do you feel like, does that affect you at all? Like that part of the game? Like, you know, because you know, you lit, you a champion, you want to go hang out, like, do those types of things affect you, you feel like?
Yeah, nah, it affects you 100%. Like, with boxing, it affects, because like, with basketball, football players, I mean, some football players, they got like, basketball, they got like a weight they got to be at and stuff like that. But like, with boxers, we lose a lot of weight, you know what I'm saying, and liquor, you know what I'm saying, it drains you of your minerals, you know what I'm saying, vitamins and stuff like that. And we gotta lose weight too, and it dehydrates you. So, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of boxers, we get high up in weight. You know, and we drinking, that's like a double, you know. That's
double
like,
whammy, so you can feel the effects when it's
like a double dose. So, I mean, you can feel the effects. I mean, I feel like, you know, you shouldn't go, you know, over the top or just get, you know, too drunk or too wasted. You wanna have a drink, cool, but just get, you know, sloppy, things like that, you know, you can't have that, but, you know, you just got to have it in moderation. I feel like everything in moderation, just water. You drink too much water.
It's bad for you too.
Yeah, that's bad for you too. So too much of anything is bad for you. So I feel like, you know, if it's in a moderation, you know, it's cool. But, I mean, if you can refrain from it, not do it at all, I mean, like you said, Floyd didn't do it at all, and, you know, look at him.
That gotta be hard as fuck, though, to be, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
especially when you up, like.
Yeah, it gotta be hard, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, he making, you know, hundreds of millions, 50 millions, I mean, it's worth it at the end of the day, especially now he retired and, you know, he can do whatever he wants to now, so.
For sure. Lastly, man, you know, like this show is based on, I started interviewing rappers. I've been interviewing a lot of boxers lately, you know what I'm saying? The Shakur Stevenson episode went crazy, What you listening to, EJ? Like, what gets you hyped? Like, when you about to get in that mode, you getting in that zone, like, I'm about to go fuck somebody up. Like, what's in your headphones, man?
The crazy thing is, I don't listen to music there to fight. I don't listen to no music.
What's your thing?
But like, when I'm running or, you know, I'm in the gym, you know, I like to listen to Lil Baby, you know what I'm saying? Yellow Beezy.
Dallas Connection.
Yeah, Dallas Connection, Trap Boy Freddy.
Yeah.
Dallas Connection too. But like Lil Baby, Dirt.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, I'm a huge,
Oh, Jay-Z,
you know what I'm saying?
shout out to Hov.
Jay-Z fan, you know what I'm saying? Nas, what else? Yeah, that's Big Crit. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I love some Big Crit,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't feel like listening to, you know, all the, you know, just the crazy music where
The new wave gangster
yeah,
shit
the new way. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, I want to
It gets
listen to Big
real,
Crit, Jay-Z,
yeah.
some stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not gonna dumb me down.
Right.
You know what I'm
It's some
saying?
real shit sometimes.
Yeah, some real stuff like
Yeah.
Big Crit and Jay-Z and things like that. But yeah, I like, you know, Lil Baby, you know, Dirt,
Yeah.
Young Boy, all that.
Young boy, yeah, all right. What do you lastly? Cause you said you don't listen to music before, like when you about to fight. What do
Yeah.
you do? Like you just calm, thinking like, what do you?
Nah, what I do is like I watch like I forgot what it is. I think it's on the Discovery Channel, but it be on like Netflix. Like I watch like kids from like third world countries and people from like third world countries, and they help me with my nerves because I watch them and like how they need water or you know what I'm saying, they fight, they need food and they don't have food, but they only have, you know, drinking water. Or sometimes Haiti,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, they be eating mud pies, you know what I'm saying, it has
Right.
no nutritional value at all, but they eat it just to fill their belly. You know what I'm saying? And when I watch all that, it was like, man, when I'm nervous about getting in the
Cause
ring
it's
and
real.
fighting to do, I'm
Damn.
finna fight for millions of dollars.
Right.
And I'm sitting here nervous where this dude's out here, you know what I'm saying, little kids,
Really
babies
going through
out
it.
here really
Yeah.
going through eating mud pies and all type of, and don't have, you know, drinking water. Man, I'm nervous about a fight I'm finna have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. I'll be watching stuff like that before my fight.
Man, I love that. That's super dope. I never thought I heard that before, but that's dope as fuck, man.
Appreciate it.
EJ, I appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate
Good
you.
luck on this fight, man. Big fight. I'ma definitely be in the building.
Oh, yeah.
My guys, Chicken Talk, they got a suite too. They it's this thing on Twitter. It's called Chicken Talk. They be doing
yeah?
spaces
Okay.
on boxing.
Okay.
So if you say shout out to Chicken Talk, let them know.
Shout out to Chicken Talk, man.
Yeah. I mean, EJ, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for letting me pull up.
No problem.
We in the gym. I'm about to spar him after this. You know what I'm saying? We about to get some work in. It's a dope episode of Cigar Talk. My man, Errol Spence Jr. We out of here.